What happens when one of the greatest voices in history steps onto a global stage and does something she's never done before? At the 2026 Winter Olympics, Mariah Carey didn't just perform, she shocked the world. Mariah Carey has sold over 200 million records worldwide. She's had 19 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, more than any solo artist in history. And yet, after decades in the spotlight, she still found a way to surprise everyone. Because for the first time ever, Mariah Carey sang in Italian. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Olympics is not just any stage. It's one of the most watched global events on Earth, where every note, every move, every second is scrutinized. And Mariah Carey? She was stepping into unfamiliar territory. A legendary American pop icon, performing a classic Italian song, deeply rooted in another culture, in front of millions of viewers worldwide. That's a risk, because when artists step outside their comfort zone, especially at that level, it can either elevate their legacy or damage it. It was February 2026, at the opening ceremony of the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics. The atmosphere? Electric. The world had gathered. Athletes, leaders, fans, all waiting for a moment that would set the tone for the games. Then, Mariah Carey appeared. Draped in a shimmering silver gown, wrapped in a soft white feather boa, she didn't just look like a performer. She looked like a symbol. Elegant, timeless, almost untouchable. But behind that glamour was pressure, because the song she was about to perform wasn't just any song. Volare, orso non has, nel blu, dipinto di blu. A song that isn't just famous, it's legendary. Originally recorded by Domenico Modugno in 1958, it didn't just top the Billboard Hot 100, it became a cultural bridge between continents. Over 100 artists have covered it. But now it was Mariah's turn. And the question on everyone's mind was simple. Could she make it her own? As the music began, something shifted. Her voice, instantly recognizable, carried a softness that felt different, intentional, respectful. You could hear it. She wasn't trying to overpower the song. She was honoring it. And then came the moment no one expected. Mariah Carey, known for her flawless English vocals, began singing in Italian. And not just singing, connecting. It wasn't perfect in a technical, textbook way. It was better. It was human. You could feel the effort, the care, the vulnerability of stepping into something unfamiliar. And that's what made it powerful. Because for once, it wasn't about perfection. It was about courage. As the performance built, the crowd leaned in. This wasn't just a performance anymore. It was a story unfolding in real time. A global icon stepping outside her identity and finding something new. And just when the audience thought they had seen it all, she did what only Mariah Carey can do. She reached for that signature whistle tone, that impossibly high note that has defined her career. And when it hit, it wasn't just a note. It was a statement, a reminder that even when she steps into new territory, she is still Mariah Carey. But she didn't stop there, because instead of ending on nostalgia, she transitioned seamlessly from a 1958 classic into her own modern track. Nothing is impossible. From her 2025 album, Here for It All. And in that moment, something clicked. This wasn't just a medley. It was a message. Past meets present. Legacy meets evolution. Culture meets individuality. And suddenly, the performance wasn't just about music. It was about growth, reinvention, and the courage to keep showing up, even after you've already achieved everything. Later, Mariah gave fans a glimpse behind the curtain. On Instagram, she shared intimate backstage moments, walking through corridors in her silver gown, laughing, preparing, just being human. And those moments mattered, because they reminded everyone, behind the legend is a person who still gets nervous, still prepares, still takes risks. And maybe that's why this performance resonated so deeply. Because it wasn't just about hitting the right notes. It was about stepping into discomfort in front of the entire world. At 57, or, as Mariah calls it, her anniversary, she didn't play it safe. She didn't rely on what was familiar. She chose to evolve. And in today's world, where so many people are afraid to try something new, that's powerful. So what did Mariah Carey really do at the 2026 Winter Olympics? She didn't just perform. She reminded us that growth doesn't stop, no matter how successful you become. That reinvention isn't a risk, it's a necessity. And that sometimes the most unforgettable moments happen when you dare to do something for the very first time.